season resumes, players will reportedly be allowed to put specialized messages on their jerseys for social justice causes. The league will also reportedly be painting Black Lives Matter on all courts. Raptors guard Fred VanVleet gave a very honest opinion about returning, saying the timing, quote, sucks. VanVleet continued saying he thought the right thing to do was to play, but also admitted that if even enough players decided to sit out, then he would have done the same. So, Shannon, question for you. If you were an NBA player right now, would you have mixed emotions about playing?
Absolutely would. The question is, would a 52-year-old Shannon Sharp play? No, 52-year-old Shannon Sharp wouldn't play. 25-year-old Shannon Sharp would have needed to play. Shannon Sharp at 25 had 3 kids, had a grandma and a sister that was needed to see Shannon Sharp support.
Okay.
So financially, Skip, I would have had no choice.
I know how passionately you believe in the new Black Lives Matter cause.
Yes.
So I know how conflicted you would have been even at 25, right?
Absolutely, Skip. But even at the cause, I had put myself and assumed responsibility for people that were counting on me. And I understand that my community was counting on me also.
Correct.
But the first obligation, it was to the family.
Yep.
And then I would deal with what I needed to do with the community after that. So, yes, I would have been very conflicted. And I love Fred VanVleet's honesty because he's absolutely 1,000% right. He has an obligation to his family, and he understands that this comes at a very trying time, that what we see going on in America, and around the world, and we see the movement and the steam that this thing has picked up. And you don't want to lose that, Skip. You don't want to lose that momentum. And he's like, man, we're going to lose. I know we're going to lose some of this momentum. And it's sad that that's what's going to happen. And Skip, I get all the symbolic gestures, painting the court Black Lives Matter. Skip, I get that, taking down the statues and no more Aunt Your Mama.
By the way, each player on his back, no name, but you can have your own personalized,
your cause. And I get that, Skip, taking down the Confederate statues and Aunt Jemima and no more Uncle Ben's. Skip, those are symbolic gestures. What Black America really want is economic equality and real justice. That's what we want.
Yep.
And if in the process of we gaining that, you remove these symbolic gestures, make these symbolic gestures, okay. But economic equality and real justice. That's what we want.
Gotcha. So Fred VanVleet, a deep thinker, said, and I quote, "We all know the right thing to do is to not play, to take a stand." So Fred VanVleet is not a superstar in this league, but he's speaking his heart. He is perfectly expressing the conflict that's going on inside all kinds of NBA players.
I think a lot of players feel the exact same way that Fred VanVleet, but he verbalized it.
Okay, what's your gut feeling on the way the best player, in your opinion, LeBron James, what conflict is he feeling in his heart right now?
Honestly, I believe LeBron James says, I can play and still bring about the change necessary for America to be what I think America should be.
Okay, because LeBron doesn't need the money to play. Again, his stature as a player is hanging in the balance because he has a chance with a very good basketball team to go win a championship right now.
Right.
So does that mean as much as the cause means to him? How do you think he's juggling that in his head right now?
I think he said it before. I think when he built that school, the I Promise Will Help, and he said that's probably a greater accomplishment or achievement than anything he's done in the game of basketball.
Okay.
You know, Skip, and Fred VanVleet also said, he said, this is a long-term thing here. You can't be in this for the short term. And it's not about 1 year or 2 years, Skip. This thing is going to project out over an extended period of time. And Skip, what they're going to have to do, because eventually you can protest and you can bring awareness all you want to, but they're going to have to put this in the hand of politicians. And what they're going to have to do, if you look at who endorses certain politicians, you look at who accepts money from the NRA, you look at who accepts money from Facebook and Google and all these corporations. So that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go, because Google ain't there protesting. The NRA ain't in the streets. They got lobbyists. And they get, okay, now this is what we're going to do. This is what we need you to do. Now, Skip, this is not very, you know, when you do social activism, Skip, it doesn't pay really. It doesn't pay. Because really most of these things are nonprofit. You know, Google can give somebody that's working on for you, they can give Senator McConnell, if he got a kid, they can give him a job. And Facebook can give you a job. NRA can give you a job. I mean, how many people say, well, yeah, you know, that's what I want. You know, I got a degree from Harvard or Yale or from, you know, some HBCU. And what I want to do is social activism. Doesn't pay well. So that's what you're going to have to do, Skip. You're going to have to get people that do this for a living. They go to these politicians and says, okay, buddy, this is what we need.
Okay.
Like you did this for the NRA, like you did this for Facebook and Apple and Google. We need the same kind of people standing up there fighting for us, trying to get bills, legislation passed that's going to help these causes.
Okay. So the question becomes, number one, obviously you cannot let BLM fade. You can't refocus on basketball to the detriment of this cause. But can you do both? Can you maximize, capitalize on the stage in the contained sort of, you know, bubble, if you will, in Orlando? Can you take that stage, which America is just starved for, and maximize the impact of the stage for the cause, as well as playing basketball to entertain people, right?
Yes.
Can you? Yes, I believe you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a great stage. I believe LeBron will capitalize on the stage. He will seize the stage. He'll be doing interviews at shoot-arounds and post-game, and I think he will be great at that. I think he will be powerful.
Skip, to give you an example, I believe Muhammad Ali would have fought had they let him while he was going through this process, but he couldn't fight. Right. They said, you cannot fight. I believe Muhammad Ali would have still fought while dealing with what he had to deal with.
But he was just a conscientious objector. Right. We're talking about, I don't have any quarrel with them Viet Cong, right?
Right.
So he said, I'm not going to Vietnam.
Right. But I'm saying, though, Skip, they said they outlawed where he couldn't fight.
Yeah.
So I believe even though while he wasn't going through that, while it was being played out through the Supreme Court, I believe he would have fought if he could have had an opportunity. Okay, he didn't become stationed. He didn't stop fighting because he wanted to.
But for 3 years, Ali traveled the country and spoke for his cause at the time. And he was sort of a lone wolf in the cause.
Right.
But he spoke for rights, for racial rights in America. And he was a trailblazer in the 3 years he could not fight.
That was with Dr. King, he protested, but he still got up in that pulpit on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
I mean, so that didn't take away from what he was doing. I don't believe this is going to take away from the cause. I believe, now, if you don't believe that, Skip, I'm not judging you if you don't believe that. Some people believe that they have to have a singular focus in order to accomplish the goal that they want to. I got no problem with that. LeBron James believed that I've been doing this long enough that I can do two things and do these things equally effective. Some people says, no, I just need to focus on one thing. You take up Maya Moore, who stepped away from the WNBA. You look at Renee Montgomery. You look at some of the Cheney Abumake. She's stepping away and says, nah, I need to focus on this. This is too important of an issue. This is more important than basketball. Got no problem with it. Bless their heart. I'm glad. But I believe that, Skip, this is going to be projected out over an extended period of time. And at the end of the day, Skip, protesting, but we're going to have to get in front of the politician. You're going to have to get
that's fine. I disqualified myself early on, and I told you, selfishly, I want them to play basketball. I think there's a part of you that wants them to play basketball. We miss it dearly. They're not good at it. They're great at it. So, again, do we need a little diversion? Do we need entertainment? Do we need some hope to help ease us through the pandemic, maybe even out of the pandemic by the end of the playoffs? Is it possible? Sure. That's what Adam Silver said in his address, I think it was on ESPN, where he was saying, we feel like it's our responsibility to do what we do best, which is to play basketball. Again, Fred VanVleet is saying, well, yeah, but we don't, not to the detriment of taking the focus off what we also do very well, which is campaign for this cause. We are some of the most powerful voices in all of this country. Well, again, hand in hand, maybe you can use your vocal cords while you're in Orlando playing basketball and doing what you do great.
I believe you can do both, Skip, and hopefully these guys can do both and this cause. But at the end of the day, Skip, I've heard a lot of corporations. Black Lives Matter. Our brothers have been for 400 years. I'm going to see your hiring practices. I'm going to see the diversity that you implement and to see if the rhetoric that you spewed, if it's backed up by your actions. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Now, I heard what you said.
Yep.
There's a lot, Skip, there's on IG and on Twitter, and you see all these comments and taking out ads and everything.
Yep.
I'm going to see, because I see better than I hear.
Yep. I got you.
Just the beginning. And remember, teams do have to submit their rosters to the league by tomorrow. So we'll have to see who is in, who's out. Tom Brady saying that his defining moment was not winning a Super Bowl. Interesting. He's had so many moments. I wonder what it is. We'll tell you next.